Chapter 13. A guy like you should come with a warning sign. I'm losing my footing, can't keep myself on safe ground. Sunday morning. Jenny was sitting in her room when her cell phone rang. She looked at it and smiled. Her parents found it ridiculous that she and Agneta called each other. They were neighbors. Why didn't they just walk over to each other's houses to talk? Hi Agneta, how's it going? Just fine, you? Jenny flopped down on her bed. I feel wonderful. Ah, don't tell me you fall in love with him. Oh, no, I'm not that stupid. So why do you sound so happy then? The thought of Friday night put a wide smile on Jenny's face. Do you remember when you and I said sex was overrated? Yeah, like about a month after you got together with Jürgen. We were sitting in the changing room after our aerobics training and... Hey, Jenny interrupted. We were wrong. But Jenny! Agneta couldn't believe what she was hearing. But Jenny, she said again, with a voice that sounded like her mother's. You had sex with him? Already? Don't be judgmental. It was the best thing ever. She spun around and lay on her stomach. I'm not judging. I'm just thinking about you and, yeah, well, you know, he seems to be so... I mean, now that he's got what he wanted, maybe he'll just leave. He will leave regardless. He can't stay long in one place or with a person. He's addicted to freedom. But what will he think about you? Hey, what's that supposed to mean? Don't get angry. I'm just, afraid that he's taking advantage of you. Stop it. If I'm having fun, and I am having as much fun as he is, then it's not a problem. Given how great he is in bed, I don't mind if he's my private gigolo or gigolo for a while. Jenny twirled one of her long strands of hair around her finger and pulled so hard it hurt. Okay, just be careful, that's all I'm saying. After a few seconds of silence, Agneta nervously said, What about Keivan? Does he have a girlfriend? Keivan? No, he's a wholesome guy. I think he'll wait until he finds the one, and then they will marry and have 7 children. That's so cute. Whoever marries him will have nice in-laws anyway. Do you think Peter has nice parents? Seriously, Agneta, just stop it. Peter and I will never marry each other. By the way, when are you going to start working in your aunt's shop? On Monday. All right, that's already tomorrow. How long are you going to work there? 2 months. Then we won't see each other at all this summer vacation. Oh, Tjörn is not the end of the world. You can just come and visit. Tjörn is an island, Jenny, and yeah, it is the end of the world. It's not like you need a boat to go there. There are bridges, Easy for you to say. You get your motorcycle. I need to go by bus. It takes ages. Thank God we can talk by phone. We won't just chat on the phone. In 2 weeks I'll be back in town. The band has a gig then. How about a farewell evening tonight? Come over. I'm home alone. We can watch a romantic movie or something. Sure. Should I come over at 7? Yeah, 7 will be great. See you then. See you. Jenny had just walked out of her room when her cell phone, still lying on her bed, rang again. She went back, sat on the edge of the bed and answered after seeing the name displayed. Hi, Keivan. Hello, Jenny. Did I wake you? No, I was already awake. How are you? Good. What about you? How's the graduate? Fine. Things have calmed down now. Did you get home all right on Friday? I didn't see you leave. He sounded strange. Keivan, you don't have to worry about me, she said lightly. I take care of myself. Did you go home? No, I went to Peter's place. Somehow she could hear him sitting down heavily in his neat room. Hello? Keivan, are you still there? She waited a while before she hung up. Why had he become so strange? He had hung up without even saying goodbye. Irritated, she got up. He probably thought she was slutty, Mr. Prude. Why can't they just leave me alone? When she walked into the kitchen, Groland, the cat, mewed and rubbed against her legs. She had just poured some kibbles in Groland's green bowl when the phone rang again. Oh, come on! What's going on with everyone today? She picked up the phone, unknown number. Jenny, she said abruptly. Hello, my little fairy. Her tone and mood changed immediately. Hello, Peter. There's a photo exhibition at the Gothenburg Museum of Art. I want to see it. Do you want to come along? Sure. When? How about we meet there at 3? When Jenny arrived at Göteborgsposten, Peter was already there. He was sitting in the middle of the large stone staircase leading up to the museum. She saw him from afar as she walked along Avenyn, the main street. It was hard to believe that he, Mr. Handsome over there, was waiting for her. Of course she knew Agneta was right. As soon as Peter got bored, he would disappear. If you stayed too long, the gems would lose their sparkle. Well, she thought to herself when she was 3 steps from him, I'll enjoy it while it lasts. Hello, he said, looking up at her. Hello, have you been waiting long? He grabbed her hands, pulled her down and kissed her. Come on, he said, let's look at my type of art. Throughout the exhibition, he talked non-stop about photography techniques, various filters, and above all, about the choice of motifs. It was the first time she had seen him so engaged. He was so fascinated by the photographs that he seemed to forget that she was there. At first, she listened to everything he said, but after a while, she just looked at him. It was wonderful to see him like that. He was so filled up with his own thoughts that he forgot to be charming, funny, and interesting. For once, he just was. Look here, look at this photo, for example. The colors of the sea blend into the grey cliffs. See that? She tilted her head and looked at the photo carefully. It looks unnatural somehow. Yeah, it's the filter that gives the deep blue color. That's cheating. He laughed. Cheating. I think photos should show what is beautiful in reality, not beautify it with filters or retouching. He looked at her in silence. Suddenly he said, you know what I like? I want to show what you don't see. I want to bring out what's not obvious. Sometimes you don't see beautiful details just because your eyes are fixed on the obvious. You can't see the forest for the trees. Exactly. He looked as content as Grollan did when she got to lick the whipped cream whisks. As they continued walking around, he showed her what he meant. He pointed out photos where odd, insignificant things were in focus, like a dandelion on a roadside with a flashy big car in the background. It's like your face. With 2 fingers under her chin, he lifted her face toward the light. Everyone sees the long blonde hair and the unusually green eyes. They are so obvious that it's easy to miss these 3 small birthmarks. He stroked her cheek, forming a triangle. Oh, geez! She pulled her face away. Do you look that closely at me? Then I'm sure you've seen every pimple I've covered with a concealer. Concealer? And you call filters cheating? I think you and everyone else should just show the true beauty. That's easy for you to say. You look great just the way you are. That's just a matter of definition. If we define good looking as someone who is short, fat and bald, I'd be considered terribly ugly. She shook her head and smiled. A photo with a classic motif caught her attention. I think that one is beautiful. Not unusual, but beautiful. He turned to the picture of a woman looking out over a stormy sea. The sea, endlessness and uncertainty lay before her. There was sadness in the photo and longing. There was also openness, greatness and freedom. He stared at it as if he were enchanted. For minutes he looked at the photo in silence. She looked at his face, a face that had no need for concealer, and she saw a childishness she had not seen before. She couldn't help reaching out and stroking his cheek. That startled him. I didn't mean to scare you, she whispered. Oh, don't worry, I was dreaming. I'm not great company right now, am I? He was charming again. She already missed the Peter that had been lost in the photo. He put his arm around her and started walking towards the exit. What do you want to do next? I'm not bored. And even if you had been, you would be too kind to say it. He kissed her lightly. I noticed that at Nightcat when you danced with the red-headed bozo. He's no bozo, he's my classmate. He smiled even wider and held her more tightly. By the time they were outside the museum, it was 6 o'clock. So, what do you want to do now, Jenny? You want to go and do something in town, or do you want to go to my flat and use up the rest of my condoms? Her reaction didn't disappoint. Let's go to the flat and use all of them. He laughed, long and loud. Jenny, I really like you. Let's go. Jenny was sitting in bed, her hair messy and her cheeks rosy. Peter came back into the bedroom, stark naked, with a glass of water in his hand. You look happy. He nestled into the bed next to her. Of course I do. I am happy. Why? He stroked her hair. Because you know how to use your tongue. He laughed and licked her face like a dog. Giggling, she pushed him away. Then she suddenly put her hand in front of her mouth and looked alarmed. Geez, what time is it? He reached for his watch on the nightstand. 10 to 10. Why? Oh my god! She slaps her forehead. I was supposed to be at Agneta's by 7. She got up, put on his shirt, and rushed out the hall to call her friend. Shit! I was never going to be the type of girl who forgets her friends just because she meets a guy, she muttered to herself as she picked up her cell phone.